You're sitting at a bar enjoying a drink. A strange man enters the bar and takes a seat. The bartender leans over to you and says,
"Beware that man. He has a past."
A short while later, another strange man enters the bar, and he too takes a seat. Again, the bartender remarks to you,
"Beware that man. He has no past."
Now you must choose. Which one of these two men do you trust less?
You might think that the man with no past is the more trustworthy of the two. After all, he has no blemishes on his record. He might be a fine, upstanding, and possibly even average gentleman. Look at it this way. Is it better to have no credit or bad credit? You probably can't get a loan with either, but none can argue that having no credit is a better position to be in. You can potentially establish a good reputation in the future. But we're not talking about the future. I'm not a prophet. Did you think I was? Well, that's very flattering. Anyway, I too used to think that no past man was better, until I remembered the Torah. Allow me to explain. God said to Abraham,
"I am going to destroy the city of Sodom."
To which Abraham replied, "No, that's really bad." And so Abraham negotiated the salvation of Sodom with the Almighty Creator of the universe until he became convinced of God's plan. This perplexes the mind. Do you remember when God told Abraham to sacrifice his son on the altar? And Abraham said,
"Let's do this."
What? No discussion, no argument, no negotiation. What made Abraham stand to defend Sodom when he wouldn't do it for his child? Could it be that he cared for those wicked people more than his own progeny? No, that was a rhetorical question. The answer lies in the following very important difference. When God told Abraham to sacrifice his son, it was a direct command. There is no room for challenge, and Abraham obeyed without hesitation. However, this was not the case with Sodom. God simply told Abraham of his plans to destroy the city. There was no directive. Abraham was left to think, why does God need to tell me what he's going to do? He's God. He will do whatever is right and doesn't need my permission. It must be that God wants me to understand. And Abraham did not, so he presented argument after argument until he understood. But why? Why was it so important for Abraham to understand the ways of the Almighty? Because the purpose of our creation is to have a relationship with the Almighty Himself. In order to have a relationship, there must be trust. And trust comes from understanding. Although He is infinite and unknowable, His behavior toward us can be understood. But so long as God's ways are mysterious to us, He remains distant and our world is chaotic. So too the man in the bar with no past. Although it's possible that he is good, he is unpredictable, and so there is no basis for trust whatsoever. The man with a past, even though it may be negative, at the very least you know what you're in for, and you can relate to him accordingly. Today, without prophecy, it is still possible to learn the ways of the Almighty through the Torah. The more we study its nuances and intricacies, the more we can understand the methods which God uses to interact with us. To that degree, we can build within ourselves a foundation for trust. And with understanding and trust in the Almighty, you will become
fearless.